Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and today we're choosing my March TBR. So I know that this is not where I typically film at for these videos, but my daughter is asleep on that end of the house and I don't want to wake her up. I want to let her sleep because she was up super early this morning at like 4:30 and didn't sleep very good last night. So we're gonna film here. So last month, or for February, because technically it's still February, I decided that I was going to do my 5 throws and I was going to allow myself to interchange books. So I did 5 throws and I was able to swap out books as needed. And I'm also not going to be giving myself punishments for not finishing a TBR anymore. So the books that I had were, or that I had chosen, were The Husbands by Holly Gramazio for a booktuber favorite, thanks to Books and Lala. A most recent purchase, which I used The One by John Mars. A book treat, which originally I put in The Half King by Melissa Landers, and ended up actually replacing that with Gate to Kagoshima by Poppy Kuroki because I bought that the day after I did my TBR. I had a debut book, which I chose Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan, and a 500 plus page book, which I chose A Tide of Black Steel by Anthony Ryan. So I did pretty well. I read The Husbands, I read The One, and I read Gate to Kagoshima. However, I did not get to Fathom Folk or A Tide of Black Steel. I still really want to read both of those here soon, but they just didn't make it onto the whole span of things this month. Now, for March's TBR, I am going to do the same things. I'm going to do 5 throws. I'm not going to give myself any punishments. I'm going to allow myself to swap out books where need be. But I was looking at the amount of books that I brought into my house in comparison to the number of books that I read. Now, so far in February, I have finished 8 books and I have DNF'd 3. So that's 8 finished, 11 total tried, but I've brought in like 13 to 14 books. So the number of books that I brought in exceeds the number of books that I tried to read. So I have decided to try this out where I'm going to add in an extra throw to my TBR, if that happens, to try and kind of rein in the amount of books that I bring into the house. So I'm going to add in a 6th throw for the fact that I haven't read enough books to compensate for the amount of books that I've brought into my house, whether that be gifts from my sisters and my monthly book exchange, whether that be buying books, picking them up at Little Free Library, whatever the case may be. So, and I just remembered I have one more that I need to add on to my books that I brought in list because my dad gave me one yesterday that he read and really enjoyed. So anyways, that's not the point. Either way, my number of books that I read does not match the number of books I brought in, so we're going to add in an extra throw. So we will have 6 throws, plus if I have any repeats, if I hit the same prompt 2 different times in any month, I will add in an extra throw. I used to do it if I get it for a 3rd time. I decided to bump that down to twice, just that way it's easier to keep track of, and because the fact that I'm not doing any punishments or anything like that, I do it after twice. So that all being said, let's get into my throws for March. Okay, so the first prompt that I got is a library book, and it just so happens that I went to the library yesterday and picked up a couple of books. So I had 3 to choose from. I had Bunny by Mona Awad because after all the hype that I've heard about that book, I am extremely curious to try it and see how I like it. I'm also very nervous because I know that that one is kind of like a fever dream, not really knowing what's going on. But I don't know if I want to slot that in for a specific prompt, just in case if I'm not quite ready to dive into that book just yet. The other one that I picked up, one of the other books that I picked up was Talk Bookish to Me. I don't know if you could see that very well, but that's by Kate Bromley. It's kind of a summer-esque romance that sounds cute, but I don't know if I want to add that one in either, just because I don't know if I'll have time, and I've never read from that author. So I picked it up with the possibility of using it for another video that I have planned for March, but I don't want to fully commit to that because I have other things here at home that I could read for that video as well. But the last one that I do really want to try out is Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. Now this is the one that I'm leaning towards because I have heard really, really great things about Annabelle Monaghan's writing and her books. I believe that these are closed-door romances, but I might be completely wrong because I don't remember for certain. But I've heard really great things about her books and that they're just really cute. So this one, it says, beach rules. Do take long walks on the sand. Do put an umbrella in every cocktail. Do not run into your first love. Sam's life is on track. She has a perfect doctor fiance, Jack. His strict routines are a good thing, really. A great job in Manhattan, unless they fire her, and is about to tour a wedding venue near her family's Long Island beach house. Everything should go to plan, yet the minute she arrives, Sam senses something is off. Wyatt is here. Her Wyatt. But there's no reason for a 30-year-old engaged woman to feel panicked about a guy who broke her heart when she was 16, right? Yet being back at the beach, hearing notes from Wyatt's guitar float across the night air from next door as if no time has passed, Sam's memories come flooding back, the feel of Wyatt's skin on hers, their nights in the treehouse, and the truth behind their split. Sam remembers who she must be, and as Wyatt re-enters her life, their connection is as undeniable as it always was. She will have to make a choice. So it sounds really cute. It's a second chance romance, and I don't know, and it's not very long. It's really pretty short, and romances read really quickly. So I think this is what I'm going to go with for my library book, because I do have it from the library, and I would love to try out this author's writing. Like I said, I've heard great things, and so I'm really curious to try it out, and hopefully I will enjoy it and want to get more from this author. Okay, so the next prompt that I got is to start a series, and I have so many options for this. I have been debating like crazy ever since I got this prompt. I could start Fourth Wing, I could start another like Phantasma, I can start Court of Thorns and Roses. There's so many that I could choose from, but I think the one that I'm going to try out is gonna be The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. This one is a high fantasy series that my husband already read, and he enjoyed it. It wasn't his favorite, but he did enjoy it. And the second book, The Thousand Eyes, is on my 25 books for 2025, but I need to read this one first. So this one says, Sorwa, I think that's how you say it, was raised by a death cult steeped in old magic, and on her 14th birthday, she's destined to climb a mountain to sacrifice herself at the Unspoken One's shrine. Yet even as she prepares for this honor, a sorcerer offers her a new fate. Leave with him and live. Turn away from her destiny and her god to become his thief, spy, and assassin. Together they could topple an empire and help him reclaim his seat of power. For Sorway will soon learn, gods remember, and if you live long enough, all debts come due. So it is blurbed by Alexi Harrow, which hopefully is a good thing. And this is one that I was really intrigued by when I seen it on Goodreads, and I got it for him and I to read, and then he read it first. So now I need to play catch up with another series because he's stealing all these ones before me because I'm not just reading fantasy books. So I'm going to put The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood onto my TBR, and hopefully I like it. And so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so the next prompt that I got is a dad pick. So I sent a picture of 4 books to my dad for him to choose from. I sent 2 historical fictions, which were The Women by Kristen Hanna and The Phoenix Crown by Kate Quinn and Janie Chang. And I chose those ones because my dad loved The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and he's really enjoyed her books as well. And we've also, him and I both really enjoy Kate Quinn's historical fictions, The Huntress, Alice Network, all those books that she's come out with. Him and I have both really enjoyed those. Him and I have always bounced historical fiction books off of each other. So I chose those 2. I also chose 2 thrillers. I chose Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh because I really want to read that one, and I've told him a million times that he needs to read 13 by him because I read that book last year and it was so good. I really enjoyed it, and I think that he would really enjoy the court aspects with 13. If you don't know, that is about a murderer slash serial killer who gets onto the jury of his own trial to try and keep the spotlight off of himself, and it's really interesting. So I had Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh that I sent him a picture of, or The Fury by Alex Michaelides, because my sister, my brother-in-law, and I got my dad hooked on Alex Michaelides' writing. We got him to read The Silent Patient, and he loved that as much as the rest of us did. And he just recently read The Maidens by him, and I think he enjoyed that one even more than I did. I think I gave that one 4 stars, and he loved it. He gave it 5. So I sent him a picture of The Fury. Now, out of the 4, the one that he chose, or I guess his runner-up for choosing, was The Fury by Alex Michaelides. But his number 1 choice is The Women by Kristen Hanna. This is a Vietnam-based historical fiction following Frankie, who is a nurse during the war, and I think it's following her after she comes back from the war as well. And I've heard really fantastic things about this book. Even from people who don't particularly read historical fiction, I've still heard amazing things. So I'm excited to read it. If you have seen my TBRs before, you know this one has pretty much been on my TBR every other month since I bought it. So I need to read it. And this hopefully will give me a little bit of a push to do so because my dad wants to read it as well, along with The Fury. He wants me to read these and then basically pass them along to him so that way he can read them too, because he's super interested in all this stuff. So this is the one that we're going with for my dad pick, which is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I'm so excited to read a book that's not World War II based, that is based around the Vietnam War instead, because I don't know very much about the Vietnam War. And so I've learned so much about World War II because of the books that I've read, way more than I ever could have learned from high school classes, because I don't teach you squat about World War II. But I'm really excited to see what it says about the Vietnam War, and also to look into the women's struggles that always come up in situations like this, and how much women, I guess, don't get credit or don't get noticed as much for the things that they do during wartime. And so I know Kristen Hanna has beautiful writing. I've read The Nightingale and Comfort and Joy by her. I have a whole bunch of her books and I need to start reading them. So here we are. My dad pick, which is pick number 3, is The Women. The next prompt that I got is a wild card, and this is basically a book that I have that I don't really remember anything about it. I don't remember the synopsis. I don't remember what it's about, but I still have it and I still want to read it. So the book that I ended up choosing for this one, I really thought about going with The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, which is a sports romance, I believe, between a football player and a ballerina, but that's all I know. But I was looking through my list of books and this one came out up on that, and I thought it would be kind of perfect because I don't remember anything about it. All I know is that it's sci-fi. And for that one, I'm going to choose Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I have heard good things about this book and this author, and that's all I know. That's all I know is that it's some kind of a sci-fi. I think that it's maybe like first, what's the word? I don't remember the word. Like first colonization kind of thing. I think, but I have no clue for sure. And so I'm just gonna stay blind to it. And this one's also not very long, which is kind of nice because I have the women on here and some of the other prompts that I have, like the unspoken name. Some longer books, I want to break that up with some shorter ones. But I don't really remember what this one is about. I really want to read it. And so this I thought would be the perfect choice for a wild card. And next up, the prompt that I got is Riley's pick. Now, I texted my husband and I told him that I told him that he gets to pick a book out for me. And I asked him what he would choose and what I should read for March. And all he responded with so far is, I'll think about it. So as of right now, I have no idea what he's gonna choose. I have a feeling that he might choose Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne because he just finished out that series. He knows that I've loved that series. And so I think that might be what he chooses, but I don't know for certain. So I will try to let you know when he lets me know what he decides, but I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be Fury of the Gods. So we're just kind of gonna go with that one. I have that one in the other room, but I didn't grab it because I forgot to. So I'm not gonna go get it because I'm not gonna wake up my daughter. But that is our possible choice for my husband's pick. And I don't know, we'll see if that's what he ends up going with or if he decides something else. I don't know if he'll even tell me before I get this video up and edited because he's at work right now and he's busy. So I will try to let you know what he ends up deciding, but I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be Fury of the Gods, which would be fantastic because Fury of the Gods is the third and final book in the Bloodsworn saga by John Gwynne, and I've loved the series. It is a Norse-inspired Viking fantasy, and it's the final book, and there's gods and there's magic and just all kinds of things, and it's been a fantastic series, and I'm really excited to see how it ends because I know that, I mean, he writes amazing books, so I am really excited to read that one. So hopefully that's kind of, my assumption is correct that what my husband is going to choose, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure because he might throw me a curveball. So that's what we're gonna go with for that. All right, so next up I got a book treat. Now, once again, I am not planning on going out tomorrow to buy a book. I'm not planning on going out to buy anything because I don't need to. So, that being said, little free libraries are little free libraries, and I do know that I have a handful of books I need to take down to them, so I might end up changing this book out. But I am getting in the mood for spring. My daffodils outside are starting to sprout and come up again for the year, which is always my sign for spring. My son and I watch for them every year to start coming up because that means warm weather is coming. And I'm just wanting some more warm weather vibes. So the book that I'm going to slot in for this is going to be Every Time I Go on Vacation by Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. This one I think is kind of a fun mystery book. It says 10 days, 8 suspects, 6 cities, 5 authors, 3 bodies, 1 trip to die for. All that best-selling author Eleanor Dash wants is to get through her book tour in Italy and kill off her main character, Connor Smith, in the next novel in her vacation mysteries series. Is that too much to ask? Clearly it is, because when an attempt is made to kill the real Connor, the handsome but infuriating con man she got mixed up with 10 years ago and now can't get out of her life, Eleanor's enlisted to help solve the case. Contending with literary competitors, rabid fans, a stalker, and even her ex Oliver, who turns up unexpectedly, theories are bandied out and rivalries, rifts, and broken hearts are revealed. Who's really trying to get away with murder? Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies is an irresistible and hilarious series debut from Catherine Mack, introducing fictional bestseller author Eleanor Dash on her Italian book tour, where life starts to imitate the world in her books when she's caught up in a real-life murder mystery. So it sounds really, really fun, and I picked this one up because, once again, of a recommendation from Books and Lala. She really enjoyed this one, so I'm really excited to pick it up. Now, last but not least, I had a pet pick. I have a clip of that I will put in here. I had her choose between Voyage of the Damned by Frances White, Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score, and The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. Okay. She had to be sneaky and snap it up while she walked by, but she did choose The Last Murder at the End of the World. And the one she ended up going with is the Stuart Turton Last Murder at the End of the World. I am so excited to pick this book up. I absolutely love 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I haven't read Devil in the Dark Water yet, but I want to. I have it. But this is his most recent one. It's got the pretty colorful edges, and this one just gives me like summery vibes as well. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. I don't fully remember what it's about. It says, outside the island, there's nothing. The world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. On the island, it's idyllic. 122 villagers and 3 scientists living in peaceful harmony. The villagers are content to fish, farm, and feast, to obey their nightly curfew, to do what they're told by the scientists. The security system has wiped everyone's memories of exactly what happened the night before, which means that someone on the island is a murderer and they don't even know it. So I skipped a little bit in the middle of the synopsis because my battery is almost dead, but it does sound really, really good, and I've really enjoyed his writing, so I'm excited to see what else he's come up with in his other books. So this is what I will be choosing for my pet pick, or I guess what my dog chose, Athena. So that is it. That is what I'm going to try and read in March. I am so excited. Have you read any of these? And do you enjoy watching, do you like this kind of change of plans? Once again, I'm trying to figure out what works for me and what everybody can enjoy, and hopefully accomplish some things and just enjoy my reading year. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will catch you next week for another video. Bye.